I think Mayuri ate the early frozen chicken. Oh god. Well, Mayuri is an anime character, so I don't think that she's gonna have like any stomach problems.
塩に関してはゲル化はしなかった。
Like I said, anime girls never get fat. Or sick, I guess in this case. Otherwise, she'll be throwing up. Salt didn't gelify.
何も変化しなかったって定義すべき。
この前の放電現象が発生した後、徹夜で実験した結果、キャベツ、大根、米、こんにゃく、メロンパン、ガルガリ君、カップ麺、いずれも何も起きなかった。
Crunchy-kun. A brand of popsicle, popular throughout Japan. In addition to the standard soda flavor, over 50 varieties are sold, including cola, grape, and limited promotional flavors. Win may be written on one part of the stick. The winning stick earns a free popsicle. The chances of winning are rumored to be around 2%.
液体に関しても同様だ。あの日は放電現象の前後で実験の成功率が180度変わった。放電現象前はすべて成功。放電現象後はすべて失敗。
レンジが電気を溜め込んでるとか？ゲル化したものはフラクタル構造のようだって言ってたわよね。塩はもともと単純構造だから影響を受けないのかな。電気とどんな関係が？
ここはタイムトラベル理論を前提に考えてみるべきだ。
ダメ。結論ありきで考えるのは良くない。
すでにいくつも実験成功例があるのだぞ。それを否定するのか？
私は別にこれがタイムマシンじゃなくてもちっとも困らないから。そもそもこの小さな電子レンジの中でビッグバンに匹敵するエネルギーが発生していると定義するのは無理がある。
Kurisu frowns deeply. Oh boy. Okay. Well, I feel like when we're cooperating with Kurisu, we're gonna have to take into account that she's gonna have her own biases when it comes to time machines. Like, don't go with the conclusion that it's a time machine. Don't go with that kind of conclusion. So, but on the flip side, I think that she is right in the sense that we shouldn't go with the conclusion like straight away. Not necessarily that it's because it's a time machine, but could it be something else? Like, should we start from somewhere? Like, basically, don't think of the solution, think of the problem? Is that how you should put it? Yeah, I think so, I guess.
放電現象の再現、それにフラクタル構造化の再現、どちらもできなくなってしまった理由があるはず。やり方は何も変えていない。設定も全く変えていない。実験対象も変更なし。それ以外で変動する条件というと、
誰が観測するかだな。
何よそれ。
量子論だ。観測者は実験の重要な要素だ。
放電現象が起きた時はここには4人いた。でもその前に橋田さんが1人の時にも発生してる。フラクタル構造化した実験時は2人の時や3人の時があった。私たちは2人ともどちらの現象も見ている。つまり条件は変わっていないはず。
だとしたら、
There must be some other variable. It's on the tip of my tongue. Then I hear a rumbling sound from Kurisu's stomach.
腹が減ったのか？
うるさいな。お昼から何も食べてないのよ。
Kurisu turns away as she looks at her watch.
もう8時か。
バナナを食うがいい。ただし、食べていいのはさっき温めた2本だぞ。実験で使った食材は美味しくいただけ。あるいは 買い置きのカップ麺があるが。いらないか？やはりアメリカ生活が長いとファーストフードの方が好きになるものなのか。
カップ麺。
何？
カップ麺もらうわ。
カップ麺をか？
ちなみに味は？
醤油味と塩味がある。
塩味。
She seems in the mood to eat.
それとフォークある？
Alright, well, it is past midnight, and I assume we're still working. At 8 o'clock, the two of us suddenly ate cup noodles and warm bananas. Taro said he didn't want any, and ever since then, we've been examining the phone wave, named such a change. I've mainly focused on the terminal mode settings through the X68000. The programs that I wrote are all wizard class though, so I can't understand most of them. Wizard class? What is that? Is that a technical term or is that like a D&D term? An insanely skilled hacker. Oh, okay, so yeah, he's a tech wizard. Kurisa's been examining the AC adapter and the lab's electrical switchboard for a while, though we stopped her when she tried to disassemble them. It's early morning, and she still shows no sign of leaving. Where is she staying anyway? She's been in Japan for 1 or 2 months, and she did say she was going back to America this month. And the trains are running this late, so I guess she might not be able to leave even if she wants to. But in that case, why didn't she leave before the train stopped? Don't tell me she plans to stay. No girls have ever stayed over at the lab. My lady has a curfew, so she always goes back home to Ikebukuro. Dara and I frequently stay here, though. It's not an exaggeration to say we live here half the time. Spending the night with a girl? Oh my, Rintaro, you sure are moving quite fast. Maybe it's normal for American girls to stay overnight in the labs. Sounds like a very specific case, if I've ever seen that.
クリスティーナ、こんな時間までここにいていいのか？せめて家に連絡したらどうだ？
連絡なんて必要ないから。
何？お前の親は放任主義なのか？
Kurisu turns to me and sighs.
父親とはかれこれ7年は会ってない。母親はアメリカ。私は今はホテル暮らし。わかった？
Oh wait, did I say before by accident that her father passed away at some point? Excuse me. When there's like tragedy, like family tragedy, my mind always goes to like that sort of stuff.
No.
Living in a hotel? Well, true. Renting an apartment for just a month is absurd, but
このセレブめ。アメリカ人ならホテルよりモーテルだろ。
私はアメリカ人じゃないし、東京のど真ん中にモーテルはないだろ。
どんなホテルだ？
どんなって、お茶の水にある普通のホテルよ。
yeah, what kind of hotel were you thinking, Rintaro? A love hotel?
お茶の水？ではここから歩いて帰れるではないか。
まあね。
I see. That's why she's so flexible with her schedule. I finally understand.
では、父親の件について聞こ
う。は
？7年会っていないと言ったな。
なんであんたが私の父親に興味持つのよ。
お前がこれ見よがしに父親のことを口にしたのではないか。それはつまり、父親の件について相談に乗ってください、お願いします。というメッセージだろ
う。そんなわけあるか。
よかろう。お前は俺の助手だ。助手の悩みには乗ってやらなければな。というわけで、張り切って話すがいい。
Kurisu pouts and says no more. I mean, it's more so that me personally, I'm interested in her father in the sense that, okay, like, this whole time machine shenanigans that she's struggling with, denying it and all that, that could be a hindrance to like further experimenting and all that, and we kind of need to put like a dot on that kind of stuff to work together better. So we kind of need to know about her father, like what is the deal with that sort of stuff. Instead, she glares at the circuit box on the wall.
どうした？
あんたに話すことなんて何もない。
そうか、わかったぞ。お前の父親はもともとは英雄だったが、やがてその身を悪に染め、今や帝国の幹部として黒マスクと黒マントを身につけ、こう言っているのだな。そして将来的に親子で戦う目に。
I think I heard Karisa's teeth grind.
もしかしてすごく怒っているか？
人の家族の問題を。
Karisa doesn't look me in the eye, but her low voice tells me how mad she is.
そうやって茶化さないで。あんた今、私の心に土足で踏み込んだのよ。
Could her father's situation be a landmine? She does seem like a very sensitive person when it comes to like a few things. Like one is definitely the father, and last time we had that whole like being in her face with that kind of high energy that Rintaro usually has when she was raising her fists. Like, have we touched a chord when it comes to like some physical violence in the first place, or maybe not physical, but raising her voice and that kind of stuff that made her like be on the defensive for a second there, that touched at her strings? Maybe I should apologize. I try to think of the words, but before I can say anything. Daro's war cry echoes through the lab.
誰？やったのか？
Oh, thank God. We needed like a change of subject there.
Mission complete.
Daro shows his white teeth in a wide grin as he gives a thumbs up.
サーバー管理者の ID とパスを手に入れたぜ。これでもう弛緩し放題だ。ヒャッホー！
IBN5100 が使われている方のデータベースは？
そっちは独立して存在してるわけで、今回は全然関係ないだろ上皇。そもそもそんな特殊なプログラムで組まれたデータベースじゃアクセスできる人間だって限られるっしょ。所長クラスでもアクセスできないっぽい。
所長クラス以上の役職など存在するのか？
What?
セルン評議会ってのがあるらしい。
ふむ、評議会とはいかにもなネーミングだな。
Council, eh? A council of evil executives.
いかにもって何が？
ラスボスとしてのネーミングに決まっているだろう。
Karisu looks at me coldly. Whatever. Let's leave the IBN 5100 database for another day. What?
ダル、早速タイムトラベル理論についての情報があるか調べてくれ。
オキドキ。前に調べたとき Z プログラムってのが怪しかったよな。
それとゼリーマンズレポートだ。
We couldn't get concrete information on either before. Karisu stares holes into the monitor. Her angry expression has disappeared.
とくと見ておくがいい。そしてその目に焼き付けろ。セルンがしている世界への欺瞞という現実をな。
Alright, well, let me guess. Kurisu's father works for CERN as well. Like, he's either like some lab director, or someone of high position, or, knowing our luck, one of the council members, like executives.
うほう、見つけた。LHC 計画担当責任者来たこれ。
責任者ということはかなり重要なポストだな。
今そいつの PC を覗いてるぞよ。 Z プログラム Z プログラムと
Z はゼリーの略で間違いないな。
ゼリーは J よ。 JELLY。
ケアレスミス過去悪い。
つまりそんな単純なネーミングのはずがないのだ。これには重要な意味が隠されている。間違いなくダブルミーニング。
Daro, who's been searching through the log, suddenly stops.
お、来た来た。
He displays a graphic on the monitor. It looks like a scan of a very old paper document. The letterhead reads, Z program, top secret.
プログラム立案日は1973年になってる。
Damn.
セルンができたのは
1954年。
I asked Daro, but Kurisu answers instead, her tone flat. I thought that maybe CERN was formed with a Z program in mind, but 54 means my guess was off. Well, who knows?
IBN5100 が発売されたのは
1975年。
So maybe that's why the IBM 5100 was central to CERN's operations. The years match after all. Maybe it's a case of like some project that was abandoned like a long time ago, back in the day when the IBM 5100 was used during that time. But then again, it was established like last time when we searched this stuff that some of the files, which I assume are more current and not from like that era, assuming that they were current and all that, they were used with that kind of code that is used with IBM 5100. I mean, that's why we searched that device to begin with, to decrypt this sort of stuff. That they're using a code from an old era, even though it's like modern day and all that. They're using it to hide information. But if it's from like that era, from that old era, then no, that's wrong. Ugh, haven't heard those words in a while. It can be something as stupidly simple as that. All centered on the screen too, not in the letter, not in the text box, but like in the middle. There has to be a role-like conspiracy involved. Maybe IBM hid their proprietary programming language in the IBM 5100 for the sole purpose of its use in CERN's Z program. IBM and CERN are co-conspirators, and both of them are being manipulated from the shadows by an even larger organization. Yeah, that's spicy.
うげ JPEG かよ、ふざけんな。コピペできねえじゃん。
Oh no. We can copy paste? Daro mutters some complaint.
テキストはフランス語じゃないんだ。
What's on screen right now looks like English.
いや、フランス語やらオランダ語やらドイツ語で書かれたものもあるお。中身は同じみたいだけど。
時空の支配とそれに基づく歴史の破壊。言い換えれば、過去から未来までを含む委員会による完全なる理想郷を実現することは、21世紀に向けてのセルンの存在意義となるだろう。
Oh boy. Ruled by committee that encompasses the entirety of past and future events. Kurisu suddenly starts speaking at a stilted clip.
あ、そっか。マキセ氏って英語できるんじゃん。
でかした助手。お前がアメリカに留学したのも全て今日この時のためだったのだな。
そんなわけあるか。勝手に運命感じないで。
It was all destiny, as long as it serves my purpose in destroying this world with chaos. Only I can create chaos, not CERN. Daro relinquishes his chair, allowing Kurisu to sit in front of the computer.
そんなわけあるか。勝手に運命感じないで。
It was all destiny, as long as it serves my purpose in destroying this world with chaos. Only I can create chaos, not CERN. Daro relinquishes his chair, allowing Kurisu to sit in front of the computer.
本実験計画は機密保持のため、また臨機応変な計画名の変更を可能にするため Z プログラムと命名された。 Z はすなわちオメガでありヤーである。その名に意味あるいは何らかの情熱的な精神を込めることを禁止する。プログラム従事者に不利益を与えることが推測されるためである。
It is forbidden to assign any meaning to this name or to seek in its significance beyond the project itself. Okay, that means that there's clearly some meaning behind it, some secret meaning that we're not aware of, that will be important.
Z プログラムは国家間の枠組みを超えた極秘共同プロジェクトであり、電磁波研究と同じく300人委員会から承認を受けた最優先研究事項である。以後セルンにおいて行われる他の研究のすべてはこの Z プログラムの隠れ蓑として機能させることが決定された。
I guess Kuriso's reading the preface to a document. It's getting rather dull.
Z プログラムの具体的な内容は書かれていないのか。
Daru types on the keyboard from the side, bringing up another window.
とあった。これは
Kurisu bends forward and stares wide-eyed at the words on the screen.
なんだ。
Z プログラムでは高エネルギーの陽子衝突を用いた時空間転移実験を行う。
Proton-proton collisions. Time-space displacement. Damn. Time-space displacement experiments. In other words...
タイムトラベル実験。
I had to struggle to keep from shouting. I quickly run over to the window and close it. It might make it hotter inside, but it would be worse if people outside overheard us.
まさか本当だったなんて。しかも40年近く前から世界中の科学者を欺いてきたっていうの。
俺の睨んだ通りだな。セルンの裏には巨大な影が潜んでいる。おそらく機関、あるいはそれに準ずる組織だ。
何が機関だ、この中二病。たまには真面目に話しなさい。
バカを言うな。俺の言葉は常に真実を指しているぞ。
つか機関っていうより委員会じゃね？そう書いてやったし。
It doesn't sound like that cool of a name. I mean, imagine if like organization from 13 from Kingdom Hearts would be the Committee of 13. Sounds kind of stupid, doesn't it?
300人委員会か。セルン評議会とはまた別のものを指してると思うけど、何を指してるのかしら。
世界はあらゆる欺瞞で満ちている。お前たちが思っているほど美しくはないのだよ。
話聞けよ、オカリン。
聞いている。300人委員会こそあらゆる秘密結社、各国政府、あらゆる財閥の最上位に位置する巨大な闇だ。
また適当言って。
事実だ。嘘だと思うならネットでググるといい。
Okay. Yeah, sure, we're using Google as our trusting source. Don't believe me? Well, Google it, motherfucker. Who am I kidding? I mean, at least Google is more faithful than AI these days, so whatever.
これまで人類はどれだけ繁栄しようとも時間という壁に突き当たってきた。
I mean, go figure. Like a long time ago, like people would make fun of wikis and like Google and such for information that may not be trustworthy because, well, people can like edit a few of the wikis in the past from what I remember. So it's not to be trusted 100%. Like you'd best to go for like this to do a little bit more research beyond the wikis to get like a bit more faithful research. Nah, at this point, now we trust more the wiki than what is happening in the world right now. You know what? Whatever. Like, I don't want to bring up that kind of topic here.
その壁を突破することのできるタイムトラベル技術は人類史を大きく塗り替えるだろう。文字通りの意味でな。かつての核兵器と同じく神に等しき存在になれる禁断の果実だ。それを得たいという誘惑に抗うことのできる者はいない。当然ながら権力を持つ者はあらゆる手段を用いて手に入れようとするだろう。人としての倫理など神を目指す者たちにとっては抱きすべきざれ言だ。わかるか、クリスティーナ。
ご公説をどうも。そこまでスラスラと喋れるっていうことはあんたも神を目指してるの？
You know, Rintaro would be a good theater kid. He would be like good in dramas and such to have this kind of energy.
この法王院教魔が望むのはそんな神候補どもの打倒、そして支配構造が崩壊した後の混沌だよ。
法王院に聞いてるんじゃない。私は岡部に聞いている。
俺は法王院だ。
つまり自分を持ってないってことね。
Damn. So basically, like, if Ho and Kyoma has an opinion, then Okabe sure hasn't. Then his opinion is pointless. Damn. That's a burn. Damn you, assistant. How dare you attack my very identity?
そんなことよりマキセ氏、Z プログラムの続き please.
In the same energy as Jim Carrey's grin, like Grinch. Dio,
ダル、そんなこととはどういう言い草だ。
陰謀論は聞き飽きたお。オカリンの妄想より Z プログラムの方が気になるし。
I told you, they're not delusions, and they're not theories. But Daro does have a point. Our top priority now is to expose the dark side of the international research organization known as CERN.
ジョッシュ、続きを。
頼み事するときぐらい誠意を見せろよ。
Though huffing out complaints, Kurisu obediently goes back to translating.
プログラム第一段階、大型ハドロン衝突型加速器の建設および実用化。
Yeah. Now, going back to the topic of like proton-proton collision, I did mention before that if there's such a thing as maybe creating some form of energy power enough to maybe create like black holes slash like the energy necessary for time machines, maybe it would be through colliding like specific particles. I mean, again, I'm no science expert right over here, but that does sound like a pretty dangerous experiment that could release like a lot of energy. I mean, explosions release a lot of energy, right? So,
加速器については1959年に完成した陽子シンクロトロンからの半世紀にわたるノウハウ蓄積により一定成果を得ている。プログラム第2段階、リフターの実用化および調整。これにより2つ以上の人工的な局所場得意点の生成およびカーブラックホールの生成を可能とする。 なおブラックホール生成についての情報を意図的に曲解させてリークし、プログラム本来の目的について悟られぬようにすることが必要である。
To intentionally leaking misinformation regarding the information of black holes.
プログラム第3段階動物実験、プログラム第4段階。
Kurisu stops talking. She takes a deep breath and finally mutters angrily.
人体実験。
マジで？
A chill runs up my spine. I admit it, some part of me still saw this as a game. I was elated to discover that an institution as respected as CERN was actually doing time travel research. After all, we ourselves had succeeded, whether by chance or design, in producing our own time travel phenomenon. I thought that maybe we could beat CERN to the first functional time machine design. And wouldn't that be something? But now, just like I said to Kurisu, the world is full of lies. Morals are meaningless. Was it really okay for us to get involved in this? Yeah, it sinks in, doesn't it?
オカリン、前にハッキングした時のこと覚えてるか？確か盗み読みしたメールに書いてあったよね。実験結果エラー、ヒューマンイズデッドミスマッチ、詳細は別紙ゼリーマンズレポートをなんとかかんとか。
Yeah, true. They reached that stage, so they surely did a lot of experimentation on like animals before. That was the previous stage, so they succeeded with like the animals. They succeeded quite a bit of times to a point where they moved to the next stage, would be like experimenting time traveling with humans. Someone died?
それって人体実験となんか関係あんのかな？
My throat goes dry. Cold sweat seeps through my brow, and it's not because of the heat. Chris and Dara are waiting for me to speak. Are they entrusting the decision to me? I ask myself, is this really okay? Are you sure? There is no turning back. True, but can I live with myself if I ignore this conspiracy?
ダル、ゼリーマンズレポートを探してくれ。
マジっすか？
マジだ。ただし、クリスティーナ。
え？
お前はもう帰れ。
なんで今さら。
ゼリーマンズレポート。嫌な予感がする。これを見たら、俺たちはもう普通の生活には戻れない。お前はその若さで、サイエンス誌に論文が載るほどの天才だ。有望な将来を捨てる必要はない。
もしかして心配してくれてる？
当たり前だ。お前は俺の助手だからな。
助手じゃないって言ってんだろ。気遣ってくれてどうも。でも帰らないわよ。この事実を世界に告発しないと。
ダメだ。それは危険すぎる。
It is too dangerous. Because I want to take it all for myself.
ビビってるのか？
俺たちはこの陰謀を前にしたらあまりに無力だ。下手な行動を起こせば即消されるだろ
う。でもだからって
これは遊びではない。冗談で言っているのでもない。
分かった。告発はやめる。
Though her expression shows she still doesn't agree, she finally submits.
でも帰らないから。気になって眠れない。
後悔しないな。
しない。
She declares firmly. I don't know if it's her competitive spirit, or if it's her bravery, or if she's just ignorant to the ways of the world. But it doesn't look like I can persuade her to back down.
ダルはどうする？覚悟はできているか？
I'm telling you, her father has something to do with this, that's for sure.
僕はスーパーハッカーだし。
He is comfortable even in this situation.
そもそも足がつくようなヘマもしないっつうか。
That sells it. It's good that my Yuri is not here. I can't get her involved. I looked Daro and Kurisu in the eye.
よし。始めよう。
Alright, let's see about the Jellymen's report, which... I keep thinking about it in the last minutes. Like, his name is Jellymen. Who names themselves Jellymen? Or what parents name their child Jellymen? Kurisu gives the seat to Daro.
なお、本作戦名はレーギャルンの箱とする。
Leg yarn? Chest? In Norse mythology, the gigantic chest, protected by 9 locks, that contains the cursed sword. Leviathan? I was about to read that as the Leviathan, but no, that's Leviathan. Wait, what is this? Did I not read this? A device that excites charged particles in order... The reason for the ring shape is that charged particles can be sent through an electromagnetic field to bend the trajectory through the Lorentz force. Energy accelerators have been synchrotrons, ring types. Okay, and the Committee of 300. The Unsane Masters, a secret organization rumored to manipulate the world behind the scenes. Some believe that the many secret societies spoken by the conspiracy theorists are all merely puppets of the Committee of 300. One theory states that the Committee of 300's ultimate goal is to establish a world government, one world government. With the exception of the elites, the world's population will be reduced to 1 billion, and the remaining 1 billion will be enslaved. I don't know, this is such a random thing to say over here, but it reminds, like, whenever I hear Committee of 300, it reminds me of 300 the movie, you know, with the Spartans and such, directed by Zack Snyder, I think it was. Zack Snyder, such an idiot.
なんで北欧神話？
へえ、北欧神話なん？きっとかっこいいからじゃね？
そもそも作戦名とか言っちゃう男の人って。
誰？作戦開始！
He soon finds the Jellymen's report. He required a second password authentication, which Daro broke through easily, alright?
いい。開くぞ。
Alright. Daro looks at me and Kurisu. I wet my parched lips and nod. The air in the lab suddenly seems thicker. Unable to escape through the closed window, it surrounds us with an oppressive heat. Daro wipes the sweat off his forehead with a handkerchief, then timidly presses the enter key. The file opens. At first glance, it looks like a resume. There's a photograph on the top right. The top left has name, age, height, weight, and other information. In the center is a long string of English text. Underneath that, there's something attached, like a scan of a newspaper clipping with a black and white photo. And then, I know exactly what the Jellymen in Jellymen's report means. It's a man actually made of jelly?
ジェリーマンズレポート10。
Oh, okay. A man in wall appears in New York? Oh my god, we are witnessing the birth of superpowers. That's the secret that they were hiding all this goddamn time.
被験者ジェームス・マッカーシー31歳出身アメリカ Z プログラム4実験日2005年1月28日13時05分
Yeah, but yeah, joking aside, I can tell what is going on right over here. they used time travel on a person and they teleported that person in the past or the future into a wall, which more than likely was not there to begin with. Like at the beginning. Kurisu bends over Daru's shoulder, reading the contents out loud.
実験結果エラーヒューマンイズデッドミスマッチ
またそれかよ。
超重力による無限圧縮およびカーブラックホール内の特異点通過に耐えられなかったと思われる。1921年4月3日ニューヨーク14丁目にてビルの壁面に右半身が埋もれるようにして死んでいる男が発見された。
It sounds like Kurisu is reading the newspaper article at the end.
身元不明の男の死体は全身がブヨブヨのゼリー状になっていた。
It's past 2 a.m. The window is closed, and the lab is silent but for the humming. The window is closed, and the lab is silent but for the humming of the computer. We stare at a gruesome image displayed on the monitor, speechless. I was right. We are in too deep. Now the question is, we are talking about time traveling and such. What was the error that caused that man to be suddenly teleported in that location? Because the scientists more than likely would have thought that, okay, they would be teleported in this exact spot if we were to send them back, like, say, an hour ago or maybe a year ago. So they would know that there would be some obstacle there that would collide with the person if they time traveled that person, like, at that specific point. So they would try to avoid that. Unless it was out of their control, in which case there is the possibility that when you time travel something, whether it's a human or an object, you wouldn't time travel to the previous location that person was on. Like, say, a person was near the time traveling machine, like near the time traveling machine like 10 minutes ago. But if you were to put that person through time travel and send them back like 10 minutes ago, they would not be teleported near the time machine where they were originally, but rather like 10 kilometers away at some random location with a high chance of them colliding with some wall or something like that. That could happen. That would be out of their control. What causes that sort of error? We don't know. I half expect guys in black suits and sunglasses to kick down the door and drag us off to a secret military prison. Better make sure the door's locked.
なんだこれ。
Daru breaks the silence with a disbelieving whisper.
ゼリーマンってゲル化したってこと？
Upon hearing the familiar word jellified, I reflexively look at a bunch of bananas placed next to the computer. There's only one banana left. We didn't have a single successful experiment today, so none of them were jellified. But I don't think this is a mere coincidence. The jellified bananas produced by the phone wave, names that don't change, and the jellified corpses produced by CERN's experiments. They seem identical in nature.
人体実験か。
Kurisu speaks calmly despite her grim expression. She doesn't even divert her eyes from the gruesome image.
しかも完全ではないけどタイムトラベルを成功させてるってことになるわねこれ。
I'm still in shock, so I don't quite grasp the meaning of Kurisu's words.
この新聞記事1921年のニューヨークタイムスよ。
1921. Now that's actually... Yeah. Because when is it that that CERN actually started their activities? Was it in the 70s? Or 50s? I'm already forgetting detail. But yeah, this is 1921. They sent that person long in the past.
およそ90年前か。
Yeah. So if it's 1921, unless like CERN started their activities at that point too, and they sent that person back in time in 1921 on purpose. Otherwise, there is no reason for them to send them back that far away. Not only did they miss the mark on like the space where the person would be teleported, but also the time.
見て。
Kuriso points to part of the black and white photograph, her fingers shaking slightly. The jellified corpse of a man. She's pointing to his shoulder, which has written in it. Perhaps it was printed on his clothes. It's fused onto the jellified body, but you can somehow manage to read it. Yeah, CERN. Okay, so I guess scratch that. Maybe they are part of the human experiment. They partook in the experimentation of their own will. Well, there's also the possibility that they were captured and experimented on against their will too. 213547?
セルン。
つまりセルンは LHC を使ったタイムトラベル実験で人間を1921年へと送り込んだ。
生きたままというのは失敗したみたいだけどね。
ゼリーマンズレポートはこれだけか。
いや、まだ結構ある。全部で14人分かな。
もしもゼリーマンという言葉がゲル化した人間を意味するなら、その数だけ人体実験の犠牲者がいるということか。
I swallow hard. I'm awfully thirsty. I take a cold Dr. P out of the fridge and put my throat.
他のも見せてくれ。
Daru pulls up another report. Without being told to, Kurisu begins translating out loud.
ゼリーマンズレポート9。被験者ダン・ストレイスキ26歳、出身カナダ。Z プログラム4、実験日2004年9月6日14時10分。実験結果エラー、ヒューマンイズデッド、ミスマッチ。新聞記事の切り抜きの方は、これフランス語ね。私も読めない。
2001年の1月31日というのは読み取れる。
2001.
場所はフランスのポーかな。
2001. That's fairly recent. Pretty big difference from James McCarty, who jumped nearly 90 years back to 1921. Daru calls up a machine translation, giving us the following. Collapsed male corpse discovered in forest outside Pau, France. Its left foot was fused to a tree trunk, and the body had jellified. Daru goes to the next report.
ゼリーマンズレポート8。被験者リンダ・ヒル25歳、出身イギリス。Z プログラム4、実験日2004年2月15日13時45分。実験結果エラー、ヒューマンイズデッド、ミスマッチ。1972年10月2日、インドタミルナードゥー州のダルマプリの路上でゼリー状になった女性の遺体発見。遺体は放置された後で車にひかれた跡があり、下半身は損壊していた。
Daru goes to the next page.
ゼリーマンズレポート7。被験者ミハイル・ラング33歳、出身ドイツ。Z プログラム4、実験日2002年10月8日13時28分。 実験結果エラー、ヒューマンイズデッド、ミスマッチ。
The article clipping is written in Japanese. Hold on a second. Jellymen Report 7, Z Program 4, 2002. Okay, so at minimum, the experiments were from 2002 onwards. It kind of depends on when they started experimenting on humans. So far, we have as early as 2002. Looks like a pre-war newspaper. May 26, 1936. May 24, 1936. The corpse of what is believed to be a jellified human was discovered at the base of Mount Hiei in Kyoto. He was in a damaged state, possibly from having slid down the slope. It even happened in Japan. I'd never heard this story before. It was pre-war though, so I guess someone born in the 90s like me would have no way of knowing about it. Next page. The picture shows a beach. Beautiful, but for the jellyfish-like body lying on the sand. It must have washed ashore.
ジェリーマンズレポート6。被験者マーク・ヒューズ30歳、出身アメリカ。 Z プログラム4、実験日2002年8月23日12時52分。実験結果エラー、ヒューマンイズデッド、ミスマッチ。1985年7月1日、フェロー諸島ストレイモイ島の海岸に奇妙な物体が流れ着いた。それは成人男性のようにも見えるが、クラゲのようなブヨブヨの物体であり、生きてはいない。島の住人たちの間では、半魚人の死骸ではないかという噂も。肩と見られる場所には、セルンという刻印があったが、セルンは関与を否定している。
Okay. Hold on a second. I actually want to see something over here. How far can we go back? Because it said something about the number of people that we've seen, right? Well, not seen, but rather number of reports, maybe, I think it was. Rintaro, okay, so Rintaro asks, is this the only report? No, there's more. Looks like 14 people in total. So 14 reports are like this. Let me check something. Let me see if I remember this correctly. Okay, so this is what I was looking after, because I remember the number 14 being dropped at some point, like the popular name for the string of bizarre serial murders that occurred in Shibuya 1 year ago. A total of 14 people died in all 7 incidents. The methods of murder were entirely unorthodox, which led to its cult popularity among the youth of Shibuya. The mass media dubbed this new generation madness. 24-year-old man was arrested as a culprit, but had passed away. Like, both of these sound kind of unrelated, but like the one connection is that a total of 14 people died in all 7 incidents. 7 incidents. It kind of makes me think that this isn't like a case-by-case kind of thing where we see one report with one jellified person and so on. You'll be more specifically like, okay, a person died here and then 3 people died there and then so on, so 7 incidents. So it makes it feel unrelated. But at the same time, there's methods of murder were entirely not. I don't know, maybe it's just a pure coincidence that it's like 14 people. Like, I don't know what this is about.
まだ見る？
もう十分だ。
There are 14 of these people?
発見場所が世界中に散らばっている。この結果からどんな解が導き出せるのかしら。
その場所へ送り込もうとしたのだろう。
そうは思えない。無計画すぎる。
カーブラックホールが得意点をどうたらってあったけど、それが原因じゃ。
超重力による無限圧縮および カーブラックホール内の得意点通過に耐えられなかったと思われる。そう書いてあった。
カーブラックホールって、普通のブラックホールとなんか違うん？
理論上存在を予言されているブラックホールよ。中心の得意点が回転しているという特徴がある。実在することはまだ証明されていないし、証明しようもないけど。
Curve black hole. Where have I heard that term before?
そうか。ジョン・タイター。
Titus said his time machine used curved black holes.
タイターはこう言っていた。2034年にセルンによってタイムマシン開発は成功したと。そしてタイター自身は2036年からやってきたと。
Which, it is pretty interesting because the report said that like the date experiments were from like 2002, 2001. They were, so if I'm understanding this correctly, they were doing human experimentation even at that point. So it took them like another 30 years to finally finish like a perfect time machine? It took them that long? It makes sense for Titor and CERN to be using the same time travel technology. Kurisu closes her eyes in deep thought.
カーブラックホールを作るなんて、そんなのむちゃくちゃよ。下手したら地球ごと飲み込まれかねないような行為よ。そもそもカーブラックホールは仮説であって。
I mean, unless we're talking about a whole idea of how, okay, they were being serious about creating like the time machine, like the early 2000s, and after a while they feel like so much and like, you know what, guys, I don't think this is it. I don't think they were able to create like the perfect time machine. Technology has not advanced like far enough for us to do anything like good right now without failing like so many times. So I guess now they're on hiatus. They're on hiatus until like the 2030s or something like that, when they went back to attempting like another time machine and they succeeded then. Because otherwise, 30 years for them to finally succeed in creating like time machine, especially since they're sending back people in the first place, or like early 2000s. I don't know.
タイターの予言は現実であり、ミューツベに出ていた LHC 実験における最悪の予想図もほぼ事実になりつつあるということだ。
The LHC worst case scenario video on YouTube was right? Oh boy, YouTube. A popular video sharing website, of course.
タイターの予言は知らんけど、ミューツベで問題の動画見たことある。2、3年前に話題になってたよな。
Okay, problem video, huh? A CG mock-up of an LHC-generated mini black hole swallowing the Earth went viral when it was uploaded to YouTube. A CG mock-up of an LHC-generated mini black hole swallowing the Earth.
ブラックホール内部は尋常じゃない重力なの。そこを通れば確かに時間移動は可能かもしれないけど、生身の人間が通り抜けられるわけがない。
だからこそゼリーマン化しているというべきだろ
う。ゼリーマンどころか素粒子レベルまで分解される。それがブラックホール。
True.
議論するよりタイムマシンについての資料を漁った方が早いんじゃね？
Daru's already started pulling up new documents. I'm suddenly afraid. Is it okay to keep hacking CERN like this? Should I stop him? Nah, continue. I'm the one who asked him to do it, but things have gone serious now. But at the same time, irresistible curiosity wells up inside me. Time travel is becoming a reality. I want to know that it's true. I can't stop now.
あった！ Z プログラムの中にタイムトラベル理論について解説してるファイルがある。